We in the building, man. This is Down and In Sports Talk, man. We're giving y'all another extra strength show, courtesy of this one over here. OD in the building, Yada Bears in the house. And then we got the happiest guy in Lakerland right here in the building. MC Wentwalker's in the house reporting live from OD. Absolutely. I would be remiss if I didn't begin this show again saying rest in peace to a friend of the show. I talk, I laugh, I have fun. But we got feelings too, man, and I'm hurting right now for my buddy, man. I miss Tiffany, DJ, hold it down. Lisa, y'all do what y'all do, and much respect and much love to the fam. We in the building, back again. Shout out to Florida boy Jay, who came through last night, man. You know what I mean, and did his thing. He could multitask as he was rolling a nice Spliffington right there while he was talking sports with the crew. We want to kind of continuate. What we was talking about last night, because we kind of focusing on the basketball thing, and we had a guest in the house, and we do what we do. But tonight we're going to sprinkle it all over the place a little bit. We're going to definitely get into a conversation that myself and my co-D over there, a.k.a. The lawyer for Dylan Brooks, is in the house right there. The lawyer for Dylan Brooks, y'all. And, we talked about it. I think we're going to have two, different perspectives, because that's what we can do over here sometimes. We don't have to agree on everything, you know what I mean? And again, we got the happiest guy at the crypto.com center in the house right there. That's when walking in the place. We're going to talk about some things. To remind you, the WNBA season training camp is open. The season starts on May 19th. So we're going to get into that. According to Yada Bear, that's Yada Bear over there, y'all, if you don't know. We're going to get into a little WNBA preview next week, so stay tuned for that. Salute to everybody that's in the chat room that rocks with us. We on Facebook, we on YouTube, we live on StreamYard right now. Smash and hit that like and subscribe button. Come get down with us as we do what we do. Yada Bear, what's good with you now?
Man, just relaxing, chilling. The Sixers and the Celtics are playing game 2 right now. It's 12-8 Boston in the first quarter. So they're still trying to fill each other out, especially with Joel now being inserted, coming back.
That's MVP, Joel.
That's Joel MVP. Came in. He said, yeah, I'm ready. I'm back. He got his MVP trophy. He got his respect. From the league. I feel like that's really what he was really looking for. A sense of acceptance within the NBA, for some effect for him to be still a student of the game. He started playing basketball at 15. He was playing volleyball and soccer. He was looking to be a professional volleyball player or a soccer player, and someone told him hey, this is your path right here. You're missing your mark, and he took it, ran with it. Was able to get to the States. Was able to get to Kansas. Do out there, became the first overall pick, and he was what we call the process. We went through the trust the process phase in Sixers basketball, and he is the result. And this is part of the process. This is the most rewarding part of it. Besides, winning the championship, this is just the second part. Him becoming an all-star, check. Now him becoming league MVP, check. Now the only thing that's missing is that championship, and then we can truly say
and the checks that come along with that.
And they got the checks already. We have seen plenty of people not win one championship or playoff series and get big checks. Bradley Beal, we see that.
I mean, but Bradley Beal, when has he been an MVP candidate? Except for the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
He's still getting big checks though.
Hold on 1 second. We gotta. Okay, I got you. We have a request to let the happiest guy in Lakerland get his off, because he feels like he has some things to say. So Windwalker's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. The happiest guy from the West Coast, Lakerland, 1-0. Congrats to Joel Embiid. We really do we kind of knew, they've been saying it all year that he would be the MVP. But here's my problem. You win MVP, now it's time to perform. Tonight has to be your night. After you got it, you're supposed to show out tonight. But there's also another problem I have. When your teammates are hugging you, okay, it's all right to show emotion, but don't let your teammates hug you and kiss you on the neck. This goes out to Mr. Harden, that suspects guy, that's real suspect. But we're going to give a shout out to Mr. Embiid. You won it hands down. Now you got to prove yourself. See, when they give you that type of honor, it's time for you to prove yourself. You got to take that team all the way to the promised land. That's what MVP means. Thank you.
That's it? That's all? What happened to the Pips? What happened to the guns?
Oh,
That's all right. No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stick my foot in my mouth. I'm just gonna sit back.
I mean, listen.
I dig it.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, saying he got to prove, you know, himself. But I mean, we have guys out here who been 2-time MVP and you know haven't proved anything. So right. I believe Joel has already been
and that ain't no joke.
Yeah, and that's no joke right there. But I'm pretty sure I believe that Joel has already proven himself time and time again by his dominance on the court. As I've been saying all season, who has stopped Joel besides Joel? You know, no one had put in no one put the brakes on him. You know, like I only see 2 guys in this league that nobody put the clamps on them besides themselves, and that's Joel and Giannis. When they have a bad game, it's because they have a bad game. It's not because you know so and so was put the clamps on them. You know, so and so was a defense presence and things like that. They still go out there and get their numbers, but when they do have a bad game, it's because they have a bad game.
Well, I have an antidote to that one. Let's take it back a few weeks. When you sit down and say you the greatest center that ever played the game,
well,
and
now you don't want
wait. Now you don't want MVP. Show and improve, bro. Since you the greatest center that ever played the game.
Well, I believe that we still haven't seen his full potential because of the simple fact that he started playing basketball at the age of 15. Most guys in the league been playing basketball since they've been children, since they've been able to pick up a ball, dribble, and shoot it in the basket.
But when you make a comment like that, you gotta have something.
What is he supposed to say? Oh yeah,
have something under your belt.
I think I'm the greatest, but I think Shaq or World or somebody else is better than me. You know, what does that sound? That sounds like he weak.
Okay. Well, no. You can say that. You can say that. You can pump yourself up, but you got to get some rings under your belt. You got to carry teams under your belt.
I mean, he's already carrying the team right now. He's been carrying the team. He's been carrying the Sixers since he came on the team.
Pretty much.
He's been the best player.
We've been on this show right now 9 minutes and 22 seconds, and I haven't heard Win Walker say Anthony Davis' name one time.
Because he say his name too many times. He might get injured.
No. We was on the MVP status right now.
Okay.
Now,
when you talk MVP, can you put his name in that mix as being MVP worthy, even though he doesn't really do what he do. But last night was an MVP, not ish, not like, not sorta. That was an MVP performance. Now here's the thing. Are we going to see that again? And if we do, what does that mean for the Lakers? And more importantly, what does it mean for the Warriors and them trying to defend their championship? Go ahead, Win.
That means that AD, he'll have another game like that. But I'm not saying tonight because he played 44 minutes. My man probably tired. But we play Thursday. That's enough time to rest.
Nah, y'all play Thursday? I thought y'all play Friday.
We play Thursday. We play Thursday.
Okay.
We play Thursday. So
I mean,
I'll give AD another 30-point game. I'll give him, but LeBron, being LeBron, is going to show and improve. He can't let AD show him up. He's got that stigma in his head.
I mean, at this point, does LeBron really care at this point if AD, like you said, show him up, or is it more about trying to, show people that he could get another ring at his advanced age where people kind of like counted them out? And if Anthony Davis is going to be the catalyst for that, then let that happen.
Let it happen. He's going to show the naysayers he can get another ring. That's why he keep putting that crown on his head. Yeah, he's the king.
I mean, listen.
How many rings Embiid got? I'm just gonna ask a question.
I mean, you can keep asking. We don't know the answer, but again, we can say the same thing about AD's ring because it was in the bubble. So that's
That's
a bubble ring.
Everybody always say, hold on. Everybody always say the asterisk.
Yeah, it is
the asterisk. Well, it was other teams in the bubble. It wasn't just us.
But we're not talking about other teams.
I understand that.
We're not talking about other teams. If any team would have won the championship in that bubble, it would have been considered a bubble chip, straight like that. So
doesn't matter.
The Lakers just happen to be, and people, and you ask the regular, average sports fan, you know what I mean? Because again, y'all know, but if you ask the average person, who did the Lakers beat in the bubble? They're gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? So again, the bubble championship is what it is. It's a bubble chip.
Listen, I look at the bubble chip the same way I look at the San Antonio Spurs lockout chip.
Oh yeah, when the teams were locked out, yeah.
They played 54 games. They beat the Knicks.
Yeah,
no Patrick Ewing.
So I look at that. I look at that the same way. When I look at the bubble chip, we had 3.5 months off. That's a whole off season, just about off.
Let's go, Yada.
Everybody was able to get healthy. The Lakers got healthy really quick. LeBron was what, 3 years younger.
Right.
He didn't have the nagging injury like the foot. He was able to get back together and things like that. AD also had time to get healthy also. So
no fans.
Right, Walker.
On paper,
no fans.
You got LeBron and you got AD. I expected the Lakers to win the championship that year, even without the bubble. I thought, this is the year that LeBron going to get their 4th ring and AD finally get his ring. But the fact that it happened in the bubble, their whole time off thing, they was able to get themselves healthy, and the fact that a lot of people did not want to play in the bubble. A lot of people didn't want to play in the bubble too. So you had teams who was missing their superstar because they opted not to play in the bubble.
And that's why to me when, again, you're a Laker fan. So you're going to stand on that square right there that y'all got that championship and you earned it. You know what I mean? But that's the thing, man. You earned it in a bubble, my G. Like,
it's always going to have that.
The excitement of being at the game and having the crowd and this and that, that was taken away. Like you said, a lot of people didn't even really want to participate. So to me, it was a lot of half-heartedness going on. You know what I mean? So again, not to disrespect it or disregard it because it's still a championship just the same. But
I mean,
like the guy at church when they got robbed, Yada. Like the guy, we haven't done him in a long time. The guy in the church that got robbed.
But
I gotta tell you about that.
But needless to say, you guys did get that chip. You guys
yes.
But my whole thing is, especially after them winning game 1, I'm not surprised at it. Like I said, behind the scenes, we have already seen the Warriors go down 0-2 to Sacramento, and then come back. We have seen the Lakers been good. We've seen the Lakers been bad. We've seen AD put up 30 and 20, and then the next day 8. And in 6. So like, whoa, what happened? Like, it was all good, 48 hours ago, but now who is this guy?
Right.
And we have seen, LeBron going out there. My man only made 8 3-pointers this whole playoff series, and we see him keep jacking up 3-pointers. He out there looking like Westbrook out there with all the bricks shooting behind.
You gonna take that? You gonna take that with Walker? You gonna let Yada Bear say that, man?
What the fuck? He's trying to hype up the set. He's trying to hype up the set. But
no, I'm just listening.
But all I'm saying, I'm just spitting the facts that we have seen, and the biggest question in this series for the Lakers is if AD can sustain what he put out yesterday
in game 1, right?
Throughout the whole series, because it was only one game. This is going to be a long series. We already
that's the thing. Yep.
Well,
so
I
we need to
remember
see.
Once upon a time, Yada and Mr. RM Des, we were talking about, will the Lakers even make the playoffs?
Oh,
why you got to bring up old stuff?
Oh, no.
Listen.
And I told you, remember this point in time.
When I was with you with that. Yes, I was with you. I was with you with the Lakers making it to the playoffs.
Was that before or after the trades?
No, that was after the trades, because when they made those trades, they got a completely whole different team. And when I seen the moves happen, I said, this is a team that they can get to the playoffs. Now, what I'm stating is, if they'll be able to move on from the second round with this team and with AD, because the team will go as far as AD goes. As soon as AD goes down, God forbid if he goes down, that's it.
Let me say this, and then we're gonna keep it pushing, because something else I want to talk about. To me, if we're talking about how dope AD played in this series right here at the end of the series, then the Lakers are going to win this whole thing.
Yeah.
Regardless of who they play, because we already know the deal with Denver and Phoenix. They're just the I hate to say it, they're the Apollo Creed in the situation.
Yeah.
Right. They're the ones that's just there for the to fill out the card. So we know at the end of the day, if we're still talking about Anthony Davis like we're talking about him now, where's this guy been? He's doing this. He needs to do this. If we're talking about him at the end of this series, then you might as well, win. You might as well put that crown on your head, because it's going to be a wrap.
No, I totally agree with that. I agree.
Yeah. So right now we're in the building. Me, myself, and my co-D over there, Yada Bear. We were having a discussion in regards to everybody's favorite Eddie Haskell. That's an old school reference if y'all never watched Leave It to Beaver. Dillon Brooks, is he the victim? I saw the passionate speech by one of my favorite guys. And I can't even remember his name because he's one of my favorite guys. But the impression that the homie did of him on Saturday Night Live is crazy. What's his name on ESPN? I can't even say his name. The guy that was talking about Dillon Brooks. Kendrick Perkins. And to me, I felt kind of a different way about it. But Yada, she made herself known, as she always does. You know what I mean? She was like, she said she kind of agreed, which is a strange thing, with Kendrick Perkins. So I just want to, Yada Bear to elaborate on that position for a second, and then I'm going to give my thought.
Like this, to me, this whole situation with Dillon Brooks is weird to me. And, basically what I got what Kendrick Perkins was saying, is also seemed weird to him that the organization was speaking out badly about this guy. I feel like if the team's not going to resign him, then don't resign him. You don't have to kind of like tarnish his name or make him seem like the reason why you guys lost. You guys lost because you was missing key guys in the paint. You didn't have Steven Adams. You didn't have the other kid out there. John Morant, busted up his hand. Desmond Bain didn't have a really good series also. And we all know who Dylan Brooks is. No, he cannot shoot the ball. He's purely there for defense purposes. And if you're not going to resign him, then don't resign him. I just thought it was really petty and very weird that the organization is just going out there and throwing dirt on his name all crazy. It's like, how when there's things happening within the organization or a certain guy, they don't like a certain guy, they would say like, a source told them or a source leaked this out. But it was the Memphis Grizzlies saying, hey, we don't like this guy. This guy,
and he's not coming back under any circumstances. That was the worst part.
Yeah,
under
any so to me, it's like it was just weird. It's like you getting fired from your job, or you putting in your 2 weeks
or your day off.
or you putting your 2 weeks in at your job, and then once you drop that letter, your manager is telling people how terrible you are. But when we was getting those numbers, you was praising me because everything was great when they was winning.
Mm-hmm.
He been the
right.
same
That's
way.
Like, come on, make my point for me. Come on.
He's been this way the whole season. He hasn't done anything different. But
that's Jada Bear in the building, yeah.
As soon as they lost, now he's the problem. He's terrible.
Okay.
They ain't say, well, hold up. They ain't say nothing, and it's because of his star status. Because if he was a superstar, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Okay.
We wouldn't be having this conversation about him. Like, look what John Morant done. Okay, he did something way worse than Dylan Brooks. He had a gun. He threatened to punch a kid in the face. He did all these crazy stuff, but they're not putting any blame on him. But they looking at Dylan Brooks as the villain and the scapegoat of Memphis poor play. And it's, like I said, if you're going to release him, then release him. Don't resign him. But you don't gotta throw dirt on top of his name, to make y'all look better. It's just crazy to me that, like I said, it's just crazy. It's just weird.
All right. I'm going to say this. First of all, before I even get to the point that he brought all this on himself, all that attention, I'm going to wait for that, right? To me, people get released every day, B.
Yes.
And regardless of the fact that, what Memphis could or could not do in that series, I think one of your statements was like he wasn't really even a big contributor, right? But you also said when they were winning and everything was sweet, he was in the middle. He was front and center in the camera. Couldn't wait to find a camera. I'm the guy. I poke bears. I do this. You're going to give me 40. Whoop-de-woo. Then the insult comes with the injury. The injury part is to the Memphis Grizzlies organization that they have to have this dude, okay, who doesn't show up to media obligations. Those are obligations. Regardless of his salary and his fine that he gets, the team also gets fined, right? So for me, Browski, it's just the fact it's a whole combination of stuff. Now, if they'd have won, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have been because of Dylan Brooks. It would have been because of Ja or Jaren Jackson, you know what I mean? Or any of those other guys, right? But to me, they win as a team, Browski, and they lose as a team. Now, you're obligated. That's in your deal. You're obligated to make the media win or lose, right? Win or lose. You're obligated to those situations right there. Now, they fined him $25K. Who knows what they find the team? Not just once, a few times, right? So now all that adds up, Browski, and I see what, and you're right. I see what you're saying, but let me say this though. Now I'm the villain. Now, regardless of how you dress going into the game, that's besides the point. You brought all the attention on yourself, regardless of what Ja did. He dealt with his situation. Yeah, Steven Adams was out. Yeah, they were missing the parts of their team. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like they got swept, right? It's just a situation where you're running off at the yap. Like a lot of these cats on social media, they run off at the yap. It's all good when you're running off at the yap and you getting your shine on. But as soon as you get confronted with some stuff, you kind of like, you get ghosts. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to put it all on Dylan Brooks because he left the media session too. So it's not all on Dylan Brooks, but we're talking about Dylan Brooks right now. And for him to be portrayed as some kind of victim, I'm not really feeling that. Like I said, the worst part of this thing, to me, Yada, is the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies put out there under no circumstances that we're going to bring this guy back. Like if he was the last dude on earth, they wouldn't bring him back. They would bring Elvis back before they brought Dylan Brooks back. You know what I'm saying?
But that's my point. Like you said, people get released every day. I'm fine with that. I'm not really caping for Dylan Brooks. I don't look at him as the victim or anything like that.
Okay, so we can take this down. Okay.
I just think it's just super weird that the organization is like going on a PR tour to tarnish his name when you are trying when he's trying to get another job. So now let's say a team like I don't know, let's say the Phoenix Suns, who's an organization that that's in the second round that has championship, in their future. But you listen to what the Grizzlies organization is saying about this guy, it's like, well, do I really want to bring him on my squad? It makes people second guess bringing him in.
They can see the highlights of him doing what he did. They can hear the interviews of him saying what he said, and they can make their own judgment.
But Lev, how it is in these corporate rooms when they are saying certain things. It scares them. It's like, oh, well, if they feel this way about him, maybe he's not a fit for our team. Maybe he's not, because look how bad they trashing him in the public. They ain't say nothing. They haven't said.
I'm gonna quote my man Stan from Martin. All right, when they was in the hearse, they was riding around when they was on a double date. And he said to his girl, "Well, damn, baby, it ain't like they lying."
I get it. I just think it's just weird for this organization to be coming at him.
Right. You got a point. It's because like, you get let go. People get let go from their jobs every day, and you don't have somebody following them down the street with a bullhorn saying, "This guy sucks. This guy's garbage. Don't hire him. Leave him alone." Exactly. I mean, but you also have people in different situations where they're out there outside protesting. We don't want this guy. Get this guy out of here. So to me, it's what the team want. If Memphis Grizzlies did it, the New Orleans Pelicans would have did it. If the New Orleans Pelicans did it, the San Antonio Spurs would have did it. So to me, it was still, I get the point that you don't put your, but this in the society that we in right now, everybody's business is out in the street. They can't wait to put somebody's business out in the street. So for Dylan Brooks, he just was the guy in the crosshairs. He was the guy in the Public Enemy logo. You know what I mean? He was the guy. So
he can help his situation.
He wasn't. They didn't pick on him, Yada. He kind of like looked for that attention, and now he got it, and now he wants to shy away from it. And now it's like, okay, you see what this guy's doing. He could do this for you too. If you put him on your team, this is what's eventually going to happen. Same thing will happen. You know what? I'll bring up a name, Yada Bear, and see if you agree with me or not. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was on wild teams, but you know why Dennis Rodman was on wild teams and he got to sit on the floor with a towel over his head, with the sneakers off, because he produced.
Yeah, because he had talent.
He was that dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you can do anything with talent. You can.
Yeah,
you
but
can
Dylan Brooks had a shot to do it. He dressed the part.
Yeah, but only thing I'm saying is I just think it's just weird that the organization will put a statement out about this guy like that, and at the timing of it too. It's like you just lost, you know, the team who beat you is, you know, playing in the second round. You feel a little salty about it. You know, like you said, the league probably, you know, emailed them the fine that they got to pay, and they were just angry and they just took it out on them. And
okay, I'll buy that. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that from that perspective.
You know, I just think it's weird that the team, and it wasn't like a leak source or someone close to the team.
Right.
Them.
Anonymous type stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, that should tell you all right there too. They meant what they said, and they said what they meant. So again, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, come on, Yada. To me, it's like this. I mean, this type of thing goes on all the time, and every day, but it's just in a different kind of like a different dialogue, so to speak. If you're going to put out a situation in football, when you had Ricky Williams, when he, you know, had his, you know, marijuana situation, they made it seem like he was, you know, Willie Nelson times 25,000 when he really wasn't. And that after, you know what I mean? So it made it hard for him. Ray Rice, even though his situation was way more serious, you know what I mean? But still, you got people that did way worse and was bouncing from team to team.
Yeah.
So again, to me, that was light work. That, you know, they say, hey man, you know, we don't want you. It happens it's getting ready to happen in August with the when the NFL teams cut those vets that you didn't think that they was gonna cut. You know what I mean? So I get what you say, Yada Man. I'm not saying that you're wrong or nothing like that. It's your perspective, your opinion. You're entitled to it. But I'm just saying from the other side, looking at it, Yada. You know what I mean? Like they were wrong for saying under no certain circumstances. That's crazy. Now that's different.
The was out of pocket. It was like
they might as well say, screw this dude. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
It was like, all right, so you're not going to resign him, then just don't resign him. Like, you didn't have to say all this. You didn't have to say all this.
So I get you. I get you on that point when they say, yo, come on, man. Now you do, how you say, y'all the band, now you're doing too much.
Like, come on. You didn't
come on, son. You know what I mean? I get that from that. See, that's where I definitely agree with you on that point. Right there. Because the owner and the whole front office, they had to approve that before it got out. You know what I mean? So absolutely. So they really was like, they probably, if this was, you know, another situation where they could say much worse, they probably would have.
Oh, they would have said a lot worse. They would have said, you don't F with this guy. You know,
so imagine the conversations that's going on in you know, those offices and behind closed doors and stuff like that. If they're going to put this out.
Yeah.
So I get where, you know, the homie, I can never remember his name because he's full of
Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from that perspective as saying, well, you know, you put you said a little too much. You could just, like you said, we released him, and that's it.
To say that you released him.
They added the sauce on there. They added the sauce on there, made it kind of disrespectful.
They made it spicy.
What's your thoughts on that, Win Walker?
Well, like you said, at a job, you know, they're not supposed to, like, when they fire somebody, they don't go and tell all the co-workers that you're getting fired. No, it's serious. They call you in the office.
You stupid, yo.
They call you in the office. And then the other day, when everybody thinks you coming to work, you ain't at work.
Exactly. They just told the whole
world. Or you leave half the day. Or you leave for half the day.
They don't call all the co-workers.
I'm serious. And then, like, everybody find out in the third. Like, and start trickling through the grapevine. You'll be gone, and the day's still going on. Hey,
he come up missing that lunch break.
Oh, I heard he got fired. And it goes like that.
Right. They don't have his name. They don't have his picture on the wall like they do when they catch people shoplifting and shit.
Exactly.
But it don't be like secondhand information.
Right.
You know,
That was
they
funny.
came firsthand. They came with firsthand information from the top.
Right.
He's not coming back. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a care what he do, how he do it. He's not coming back here.
That's right. Wow. 45-36 right now. Second quarter, 6 minutes left. In second round, Boston and Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, man, that was I didn't see that coming. When Walker, you said, "Well, it's not like tell all the coworkers."
I want to ask you a question, Left.
Yeah, go ahead, Yadi.
How you feel about the Knicks? You know, they was able to take game 2, but it wasn't without any kind of hiccup, and it wasn't a very convincing win.
Absolutely.
Without Jimmy Butler on the floor. So how you feel about your Knicks?
I was going to get to that after, I was going to let, Win Walker pontificate about his Lakers and you do your MVP thing. Look, I know what I be talking about as a Knicks fan, as a supporter, as somebody who's been rocking with them since 1973, 7 years old. And now that was the last year they won a championship. And to me, that don't count. So this is how I balance my books. To me, that title don't even count. So they have never won in my lifetime, right? So last night was a perfect embodiment of Knicks basketball in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? We've seen finals. We've seen playoff situations. We've seen situations where we should have won and we didn't. We've seen situations where we should have lost, but we won. So last night, when you're down 1-0 at home, right? We're not even going to talk about what you should have did in game 1. We'll leave that alone because we focus on game 2 right now, right? The opposition star player is out. Star player 1A is out. Tyler Hero is out. Jimmy Butler is out. You got a point to prove. To me, when your team gave up a lackluster performance in game 1, you got to step on the gas in game 2 when you're at home. You don't even know if you're coming back if you don't win this game. It's a back and forth game. We're watching it while we're doing the show. Back and forth game. But at the end of the game, you was in a situation, in a position that you should not have been in. So for me, it's like, here we go again. It's the same old Knicks with Patrick Ewing and Chris Childs and Derek Harper and Anthony Mason, rest in peace. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. So for me saying or getting, some people call it pessimistic. I call it the truth, God. I call it experience looking at these 4 eyes right here. It's 5 if you top the one up here though, right? So for me, when you get in a situation where the Knicks are up 4-5 with 30 seconds to play, I'm not going to the parking lot. I'm not leaving because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. You got Julius Randle. And you know how I feel about Julius Randle. He still owes us a playoff series. He ain't done paying us off. He ain't even started paying us off yet. He inbounds the ball in a game that we got locked. Why would you, in you're a basketball dude, right, Julius Randle? You pay attention to the situation, right, Julius Randle? You step on the line and inbound the ball. I get it, mistakes happen. You can fall back on that excuse if you want to. But I don't buy that over here. You're supposed to know what you're doing. And in that situation, so for me, I feel suspect when a game that we were supposed to win, game 1, a game that we were supposed to win and had in hand, game 2, and y'all turned into some dramatics. What I say on Twitter last night, Yada? Yeah. They snatch drama from the jaws of victory. They make it a lot harder on themselves. So the last minute of games, if you're down 3 or up 3 when you're playing the Knicks. Listen, it's real playoff basketball. It keeps you at the edge of your seat. But then sometimes you watch and you wonder about these guys. What are they doing? What are they thinking of? They caught up in the moment? Because that damn sure wouldn't happen in the bubble, right? So for me, I feel kind of suspect going down in Miami. We don't know this. To me, a lot of the situation with these Knicks fans, shout out to Knicks Fan TV, shout out to the homie, salute. To me, a lot of these Knicks fans are scared of the I'm gonna use a comic book word, the specter of Jimmy Butler, right? If Jimmy Butler plays, we're in trouble. If Jimmy Butler plays, we're in trouble. Jimmy Butler don't play, we're supposed to win by 20. Jimmy Butler played in a game you could have won and you got tired at the end of the third quarter. Knicks fans talk to me, right? Game 2, it was no Jimmy Butler. And they was beating y'all in the fourth quarter with less than 5 minutes to go. Don't test me. Right? So for me, now you got a couple of extra days. When's game 3 is what, Saturday?
Friday, Saturday.
I think it's Saturday. So for me, you give Jimmy Butler that much time because you saw what he was doing at the end of the game. Right? He was like, okay, this is what y'all do when I'm not in the game?
Yeah.
This is how y'all living? Oh, okay. And I know Pat Riley is like, okay, this is to me. When Pat Riley was with the Knicks, it was about the Knicks. Pat Riley's got the Knicks in his rearview mirror so bad, it's crazy. Because the rings that he won with Shaq and with LeBron in them is blinding him, right? So for me, I say this. We got to go down to Miami and win 2 of those games. And one of those games got to be 10, 15 points. Got to be.
Yeah, I
get it, Browski. You're going to say, well, this is going to be a long series. I get that.
I mean, I thought game 2 should have been the blowout. I thought y'all should have beat them at least by double.
And why didn't we? With no Jimmy Butler, no Tyler Hero, right? We at home. Julius Randle was playing, right? So what are we doing, Browski? What are we doing, yo?
There, no Tyler Hero.
I don't even think about Oladipo. He's somebody. He's an extra thing right now. I'm worried about Tyler Hero and I'm worried about Jimmy Butler. So for me, and then Bam Adebayo, man, come on, yo.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Browski.
Kyle Lowry, Bam.
Hey, Kyle Lowry.
You got 4 guys there who went undrafted that was out there, putting points on the board for.
Absolutely. So. To answer your question, Yada Bear, I'm kind of I'm gonna use another one of those words that I learned in school. Ambivalent. to me, when it could go either way, cuzzo. It could go either way, big bro. You know what I mean? Like and that's how I feel about the Knicks. I'm not jumping out there. You should see these guys after they won game 2, Yada Bear.
I know that
in front of the Garden. In front of the Garden on 34th, right at Macy's, Windwalker.
Of course, they celebrated like they won the chip.
It was packed out there. They was out there doing interviews with Walker. They was out there throwing beer and champagne, and the piffery was in the air, and that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? But again, at the end of the day, we haven't done nothing. When we were winning.
Yeah,
and we were winning games 2 and games 3, and we went to Indiana and won game 6 that time. The bars were jumping. Then everybody would go home, and then everybody would go home when everybody would go home. These and Knicks Fan TV. Shout out to CP the franchise. That's my guy. But he will definitely tell you he jumps out the window. Shout out to my man Carlito from The Wire. He jumps out the window. He jumps out the window. So again, these new jacks who haven't really seen nothing, they was probably little babies when we had Spreewell, right? So yeah, you know what I mean. So when we was going through it with Indiana every year, we was going through it with the Bulls every year. They was babies. So now they getting a little taste of something. When was they paying attention when Mike Woodson gave us 54 wins? Was they paying attention then? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Yada Bear. I just think that, it's going to be a long series. I hope the Knicks win. They can win. It's a series that they definitely can win. You know
They
what I
should
mean?
win.
So yeah, they should. But if they don't, I'm gonna keep it so green. I'm not gonna be like making no excuses up and talk about what they could have did and what they should have did. RJ Barrett has definitely stepped up his game. You know what I mean? And again, to me, he kind of reminds me of I hate to say it, and this might be a bad comparison of an AD situation. When he's going good, he does his numbers, but when he's going bad, it's very, very noticeable, and it hurts this team.
Yeah. I have noticed that when RJ is not on top of his game, when he's having an off game, it is very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like highlights him even more,
Mm-hmm.
even with Jalen Brunson out there.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but I feel like they gotta get the Jimmy Butler thing out their head.
Yeah, it's always somebody, Brodsky. But Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, it's always somebody, yo.
Yeah, they gotta get that out their head, and they have to go to Miami and have a convincing win. Like it should be a no-brainer.
That's right. Make the fans leave early. Make the fans leave early, like they do.
Yeah, even with Jimmy on the court, like we don't even know, if he's going to play or not. We don't know his status.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he does, they gotta be 10 to 15 point win.
Right. And to me, that would say a lot more. To me, that would say, okay, they had Jimmy Butler on the floor, they gave it what they got, and they still came up with a 15-point win on the road. I mean, the Knicks have done things on the road. They beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they won in Cleveland twice, you know what I mean, in that series. So again, they can do it, Yada. But here the $50 million question is, who's gonna show up?
You know
what I mean?
Who's gonna show up? The Suns and Denver supposed to play tonight, right? They play tonight.
I think so.
I think they play tonight.
They play last
no. I don't think they play. Oh no, don't play tonight. But the big story about them is Chris Paul again. Here we go again.
Well, that's the usual thing. It's either him or AD.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes it's him and AD.
Right on cue, he's hurt, and they don't think he's going to play game 3, 4, and if there's a 5th game, he probably won't play that game also. So now my question is it time for them to move on from Chris Paul? Is it a done deal for Chris?
It possibly should be. Like we talk about, it should be. You know what I mean? He's what age is he? 38, 39? He's an advanced age now, right? He's somewhere up there where, is his body going to be able to, go through another grind? You know what I mean? I mean, the championship chase is honorable. You know what I mean? Everybody wants that. Some people just can't, they aren't built to, withstand. And it's always something. It's always something. Like you said, this is a yearly Chris Paul checkup. And again, he failed the physical. You know what I mean? So again, I feel for the dude, but sometimes you just gotta, let common sense take over and say, you know what? Look, man, I gave it the good go. Let me go, put on a suit and tie and do my thing in the front office, you know what I mean, as VP on the player side. So yeah, I mean, and again, Phoenix, a lot of people to me are bipolar when it comes to the Western Conference. One day, Phoenix Suns got the most dominant team in the league, and then the team that's dominating everybody you don't never hear them talk about it. That's the Denver Nuggets. You know what I mean? So, and they got used to be the former 2-time MVP of the league. You know what I mean? And so what? That's the thing for me when you talk about the Denver Nuggets and Jokic and Jamal Murray, who's doing his thing, and Porter Jr. and all those guys. I say to you, so what?
You know what it is? It's because Denver is not flashy. Joker plays a old school style of basketball. He's quiet. You know, he's not flashy. He don't really talk trash, things like that. Um, but in this series, it's good to see Jamal Murray look like Jamal Murray before he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, it's really good to see that. And when Phoenix, traded for KD, they gave everything up. They gave up what made them good in the
Mm-hmm.
first place. They have no bench at all. They're very top heavy. Um, Aiton he's like the invisible man. One game he appears, the next game he disappears. And I feel like if they have any chance of turning this around, it has to start with KD. He has to take over. He has to take I feel like he's deferring to Booker a lot. And I think he gotta shut that down. He gotta take over. Because KD can give you a game. I think they probably win game 3 in Phoenix. Because I feel like KD's gonna be more aggressive. Because he can give you a game. Now, the rest of the guys gonna have to follow, but it's gonna be a strong uphill battle because they don't have any depth. There's no depth at Phoenix at all. They are super top heavy, even more now that Chris Paul is out the equation. Because now it's gonna be a lot of ISO now, Gonna be so much ISO with Booker and with KD because your floor general is no longer on the floor. So I see Denver taking this probably in 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it probably gonna be 5 games if they can't turn it around, and I don't really see them turning this thing around, man. It's gonna be extremely tough.
No doubt. When you talk about that series again, Phoenix, allegedly had the firepower. Now they don't. You mentioned Kevin Durant. He could have games that he's had game. I think he had it with a 29-14. He had 8 turnovers. Again, if you can kind of squeeze that part out of the game, and again, you could put some pressure on Denver making a series at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you've got people, but you just don't have people that have that experience, probably that playoff experience. But you got to, get that from Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? You got to, get that from a guy like, even if, Chris Paul, he can do it from the bench, even though, he could give people, inspiration to do what they do. But again, I think you made a very valid point where Kevin Durant really can't afford to defer to Booker. Booker's gonna have to, find his own way pretty much. And when I mean find his own way is like, when Kevin Durant decides to take over, you be a compliment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can help out maybe a little bit more on the defensive end. If Kevin Durant, is doing, that much offensively, with the ball in his hand, what I mean? You can kind of like be the guy who steps up on the defensive end of the thing, helping Ayton out. You know what I mean? Getting out there in the perimeter, making some plays. But again, that's going to have to materialize. You know what I mean? And Monty Williams is going to have to get it together. You know what I mean? Get these guys together and say, hey, this series, you're going to show up or you're going to get, stepped on like, Domantas Sabonis and stuff. So what you going to do? So again, regardless of what's waiting for them in the next round, this is where the buck stops for whoever wins the series. Whoever wins the series, which will probably be Denver. But this is where the buck stops because, again, like we said earlier in the show, whoever wins out of, Golden State and the Lakers, they're going to be representing the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. As simple as that.
Yes. Let's talk about this upcoming boxing match that we have coming up on the 20th of May. Haney and Lomachenko.
Yeah, Devin Haney. Lomachenko is going to be a very interesting fight because it involves one of the guys that can be involved in some upcoming major fights coming down the line. That's Devin Haney. Lomachenko too with a big win. I mean, it has to be a big win. It has to be convincing. Go ahead. Talk about it a little bit since you brought it up. We get ready to get up out of here though, but talk about it since you brought it up. And it's going to be a good fight coming up on May 20th.
Yeah, it's going to be a real good fight. I feel like the winner of this fight, I feel like this is like setting up a really major like future bout in this weight class, because we have 4 really talented fighters that seem to me right now are willing to fight each other. You know, we already have Lomachenko and Haney, and then in the background we have some chirping within the Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson's camp. You know, they may hook up and fight, which would be great. So what if that happens, then I can see like the winner of this fight versus the winner of that fight to let's bring these belts together. Let's unify these titles. Everybody shouldn't have a belt. You know, there's so many belts out here. I need one person to hold the belts so that we can have people fight each other more. I like both of these guys. I like Haney and I like Lomachenko. It's something about southpaw. You know, a southpaw boxer to me, I don't know. It's something about their style that I always like. And I like watching Lomachenko fight. He's entertaining. You know, he puts on a great show in the ring with all his antics, but he also, back it up with his boxing ability. You know, he has fast hands. He's really precise when he's throwing his punches, and he has a little power behind those punches too. Just like, when we look at Devin Haney, he's a real power puncher out there, undefeated with 15 KOs. I mean, we've seen Lomachenko, lose twice out there, but I feel like it's gonna be an entertaining fight. I'm excited to see it, and I'm just hoping that this set up, a future like mega bout so we can bring these belts together. How you feel about these guys?
I feel like Vasily Lomachenko is the guy who could upset the whole apple cart.
Yeah.
He could throw a whole monkey wrench in a whole lot of people's plans. Not that these plans are set in stone, yada, but these plans are being talked about, and they could be envisioned. You could see, the Haney and Shakur. You could see the Shakur and Javante. You could see that.
Yeah.
Right. Vasily Lomachenko. Not saying he's going to win the fight. I think Devin Haney, coming off those 2 wins over, Kambosos, I think he did better the second fight than he did the first.
Yeah.
I think that, that gives him the experience. But Lomachenko is going to be a challenge for this guy. I think, Devin Haney has to definitely look good, Browski, if we're talking about, was potentially down the line.
Oh, he definitely
got to look good. The better he looks against Lomachenko, the more or the less resistance that you could have to those Shakurs or Tank fights, because Devin Haney's going to be screaming on him.
Oh, yeah.
If he looks good against Lomachenko.
Oh, yeah.
If Lomachenko can kind of like bring value to his situation by giving Haney a good fight, giving us, that fight that we're expecting to see, then his stature is going to stand up where he could put himself in that mix.
Yeah.
Because, Tank is in the mix. Stevenson's in the mix already. Those are no-brainers. Haney's in the mix, contingent on what happens in this fight on May 20th. With a strong fight, a unanimous decision, 116, 112, 118, 110. I could see Devin Haney saying, okay, I did what I had to do. I went through the fire. I did what I had to do. And now what's up?
Yeah.
If you got a 115, 113 Lomachenko, 115, 113 Haney, you know what I mean? And 114, 114.
Oh, that's the worst right there.
Like,
a tie worse than a loss to me.
So to me, it all it's about for Lomachenko is keeping his name in the mix and looking good. The better he looks, the better it is for him. the better Haney looks, the better it is for him to call out the Shakurs and the Javantes and stuff like that. But yeah, that talk with Javante and I saw the sparring session.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting it in.
Yeah.
So again,
uh-oh.
Look at the fall. Definitely before this year is out, it's one of those three are gonna be fighting again against each other. So you'll be two of those three. Which two is it gonna be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the more we talk about Javante Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, the less we're going to talk about Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, because there's another dude in the bantamweight division that's a beast, the Inoue kid. He's a beast.
Yeah.
So again, the lighter weights are doing their thing, but the big fight that can knock all that off the back page and the front page is Crawford and Spence. But if they don't do it, you're going to be relegated to the Deontay Wilder Joshua table. You got to sit at the little kids table.
Yeah, nobody wants.
Even though you talk to those junk, you ain't do nothing. You ain't show and prove. You ain't bring nothing to the table to justify all that chirping you do.
Yeah.
These little kids, not little kids literally, but you know what I mean? These young, the lighter weights are the ones that's holding all the weight right now.
Yeah. They don't want to give us the quality bouts.
Yeah, they had running pay-per-views, bro. Yeah. So again, that's where we are with it. We're about to get up out of here. We gave you our extra strength hour. You know what I mean? Thanks to this one over here, y'all the bear in the building. You know what I mean? Once again, rest in peace, Tiff. We love you, yo.
Rest in peace.
You can catch us YouTube Down in Sports Talk. We're on 60s.net. That's a site that you need to check out, social site. For us, by us, you know what I mean? We're definitely strong in there. We're getting our weight up. You know what I mean? I think we're like 10th in the, I guess, the people that check out the videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
We're in the building over there. Check out 60s. Make sure you definitely check out Yada Bear right there at Yada Bear. You know what I mean? We have conversations and stuff like that. I was trying to see if we can get that Down in Sports Talk Twitter page popping. But, Yada Bear is on assignment, so we're going to try to see what it is. And we'll probably talk behind the scenes about that. But, yeah, we're in the building, man. Facebook, Down in Sports Talk is the name of the page. We're definitely getting our numbers up. We might, have a talk behind the scenes to see if we can have a little giveaway or something for what we going to call it, Yada, the 700 subscriber, because we up to almost 600 right now.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
So you know what I mean. So we want to make it cool, and we're gonna put it out there like like the name was Dylan Brooks. But it is what it is. We in the building. This is Left Handed right here at RM Des on Twitter. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you like how we give it up. You know what I mean. Support offering for Down in Sports Talk. $ Left Handed helps us keep the lights on and all that stuff. Yada Bear. Before we get up out of here, what you talking about?
Oh man, so only thing I'm talking about right now is finishing up this Sixers game. Hopefully we can walk out of here and still another victory. Definitely want to have you guys come on the Facebook page, man. We always post the content and let us know what you want to talk about.
Absolutely,
always put it out there.
That's right.
And we see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, the time. You know what I mean? And we're going to get that WNBA talking. That season is fast approaching and all that. So rock out with us. We rock out with y'all. You know where we at. You know where we be. All right? Born Day salute to the big homie Star. We'll catch up to y'all next week.
Happy Born Day, Star.
All right. Peace.